Imagine the IRS sending you a tax bill for something that is essentially without value. That's exactly what's happening to the heirs of a family fortune, including this particular work of art. It's called Canyon, and it's a masterwork by the American artist Robert Rauschenberg. Famous piece. The IRS values the piece at $65 million and is demanding the owners pay more than $29 million in taxes they're trying to sell. Only problem is there is no fair market value for the work because it can't be sold. This unconventional piece contains a stuffed bald eagle, which is protected under federal law and, dead or alive, is illegal to sell. This issue coming to light in a New York Times story this weekend. Joining me now, trust and estate law attorney Patti Spencer. Patti, thanks for joining us. I didn't realize that the IRS would put value on pieces of artwork. That kind of surprised me. And how is this even possible that they can charge taxes on something that the family can't unload?
Well, everything that you own at the moment of death is subject to the estate tax, whether it's a financial asset or whether it's a piece of property like a car or a piece of art or a piece of jewelry. And its value is supposed to be the fair market value at the date of death.
There is no fair market value, though, here, is there, Patti? I mean, you can't even sell the thing. It's illegal.
That's right. It's illegal even to possess it. And Mrs. Sonnabend had gotten a special permit after it was discovered that the artwork was, in fact, contraband, to be able to continue to possess it and put it on permanent loan to a museum.
All right, let me back up here for a second, because you say it's contraband. So here's how the work was put together. Rauschenberg pulled it out of a garbage dumpster when he was making it. So he didn't kill the eagle, stuff the eagle. He found the eagle already stuffed, and he put it in a work of art. And your response?
That's right. The law is that possession of a bald eagle, dead or alive, is a felony. It's punishable by a fine of up to $100,000 and up to a year's imprisonment.
So, but how can the IRS on the one hand say...
And that is the position of the taxpayer here.
So how can you on the one hand say you can't possess it, but we can tax you for it? Does that make any sense?
Well, in my opinion, the value of this artwork ought to be zero. But how do we get there? Because the IRS has successfully taken the position, for example, that narcotics, stolen artwork, marijuana are taxable at their fair value, both for income tax purposes and also for estate tax purposes.
But we don't have a fair market value, right? No
well, those don't have fair market values either. They're all illegal to be sold as well. But they had black market values. The difference, I think, in this case is that what Mrs. Sonnabend was doing was not illegal in and of itself. She wasn't a drug dealer. She wasn't stealing artwork and trying to make a market in it. She came into possession of this piece, discovered later that it violated federal law, and sought the appropriate permissions to retain it. So she didn't. She's
done all the right things.
Engage in any illegal activity.
She's done all the right things.
She did everything right.
Who do you think?
She.
Go right ahead.
The thing that she didn't do was she didn't do any estate planning. If she had done any estate planning, she would have gotten rid of this before she died, made a charitable contribution of it to a museum, and gotten a really nice income tax charitable deduction that would have benefited her instead of saddling her heirs with this expensive problem.
Well, that would have made a lot of sense. Who do you think in the end is going to win this fight, though?
Well, it's hard to say because I believe that the precedents go against the taxpayer because of the, for example, marijuana and narcotics cases. But there's been a huge public outcry about this, and I think that's been part of the strategy of the case, to get people like you to weigh in on the issue and make the IRS look ridiculous.
Well, no shame. Just take money wherever you can, no matter what. Patti, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.